Hey y'all, J Harvey Lewis, and thank you very much for joining me here in my garden planting table. And today we're going to learn about a plant that I don't think very many people know about for this particular use. This might actually be the first video about this subject. I might be the discoverer of something. And hopefully you guys can discover some things out in your garden too. So, do you find yourself using a lot of toilet paper or tissues or paper towels? And just kind of wish that you could pluck something off your tree? Hey, they say toilet paper doesn't grow on trees, but maybe it does. So I'm going to show you something here. This is called Hawaiian baby Woodrows. And I don't know if you can tell by this video, but there's a bunch of little tiny furry hairs on there. And this is a real nice plant because all those furry hairs seem to keep the insects away. So, this doesn't have a single insect, no eggs, nothing on it. So real good to go in case you... Oh man, that was a fake sneeze, but it's really good for a tissue, Gets all the snot, and you just throw it in your yard and compost away. Of course, you can compost this stuff too, but sometimes they use bleaches and whatnot, and it's just not as cool. So I've got measured out the same amount of dirt, same amount of water, and we're gonna mix away, and we're gonna test out nature versus conventional paper products. All right, so we're gonna set this aside. We're gonna mix our dirt a little bit. This is about how much we're dealing with, kind of a fair amount. And let's go ahead and pluck a few of these. Pick me, oh. All right, so let's take about 4 or 5 of these. I don't know. I'm not actually sure how many it is it's going to take, but while I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the Hawaiian baby Woodrow. So it is a plant that grew in India first. It was discovered there, and it can also be grown in other places that are, relatively warm. They are perennials, so they will, continue coming back year after year. This is 10 sheets of double ply toilet paper. These are all double ply products. We got the paper towels, the tissues, and the toilet paper. And this is only single ply. So you got to keep that in mind. Single ply plant leaf. Okay. So anyway, they have beautiful pink flowers. Mine are not in bloom yet, so I can't really show you. That's 10. About 10 of these toilet tissues. But I still have some residual. There's no way I'm going to be able to get all this. So I'm going to have to go with like 12. See if we can get with that. Pretty much. Using both sides of the sheet. This is relatively clean. I wouldn't eat off of it, but it's okay. You can just leave these items on their respective trays to remind us of all the paper that we are using. There's 2 tissues. Let's see how that does. Will it absorb? A lot of other people know this Hawaiian baby Woodrow's plant because it is used in Ayurvedic medicine in India, where it's originally from, and people have discovered you can extract certain compounds that give you a mind-altering experience. Never tried it myself. 2 tissues is not quite enough. We're gonna have to go with 3, and but yeah, it's an interesting plant. I like it because of the trellis. I originally grew it for that, and they took a while to get started, but these are on year 3, and now I've just got them all over the place. No one happened to actually cut them back, and they are invasive, so you do want to make sure you're not letting them get out of control. It took 3 tissues. Now we're going to move on to the paper towels that this company, whatever they are, kindly allows you to split in half. I think it's going to need at least 2, so let that fully saturate. And anywho, yeah, so these are invasive. Mine have so far survived down to 25 degrees, so they can take a little bit of a beating, but you want to try to protect them in the cold because they do come from the tropics. So I'm getting like 2. I guess I could try to get more out of this. Like 2. I'm gonna have to go with 3. It's just I wouldn't even feel comfortable having my dog eat off that one. Okay, so this is a little better. So 3 paper towels, and last but not least, we've got the Hawaiian baby Woodrows. And sometimes when these leaves are a little older, if you let them sit out to dry in the shade, they become more flexible and they can absorb a little bit more. So we're just going to lay these leaves here, and you want to pat it down. I'm going to pat it down like so. All those little hairs have to get a chance to absorb. If you don't, I'll show you what happens in a little bit. You'll end up with parts that are completely clean and then others that are not, you know, well, I'll actually just show you here. There's probably, you'll see what I mean. Like that edge didn't pick up anything, but the rest did. So that's one. Yes, not too bad for one. You know, maybe not quite as good as the paper towels, to be honest, for, you know, straight up absorption. They're not a corrugated surface like that, but, you know, for tissues, toilet paper, in a pinch, you know, these could really help you out. They're, you know, it's quite comfortable, soft furriness, and it doesn't, you know, the furriness doesn't like come off. It's very nicely attached. See what happened if I didn't touch it all down? So I've got to make sure all those hairs have a chance to absorb. And anywho, I totally take these when I'm out camping, and these have definitely helped me to not have to use as much paper products. And so, you know, I think we've got other things that you could use. You could just use a rag and just keep washing it. I know there's some cool little bamboo paper that you can actually wash now. It's like a paper towel made out of bamboo that you can send through the washer and just keep using it over and over. So it's good that people are starting to think about this more and more. Because, you know, it's like as things are getting more paperless in terms of the tech, people are just continuing to use absurd amounts of paper. And if you ever drove by a paper mill, they smell awful. They must be putting the worst kind of chemicals in these trees to get them to turn all nice and white and pretty. So, yeah, to be fair, well, you know, once these plants, once there's like zero water, sometimes they do have a hard time picking up dirt, but you can kind of still use them to brush off. And hey, just be creative. So, you know, we'll say like 4.5 of these. So, you know, really not too bad compared to using all this other paper stuff. I'm just going to throw this on the ground, and it's going to go back into the soil, bringing nutrients back into the ecosystem. You know, you could compost these too, but I don't really know what kind of stuff they're putting in these, the bleaches and dyes. So, anywho, I'm J Harvey Lewis, and it's been great showing you this, and I hope that you have some other cool things that you can add to the conversation. And you can put those in the comments, but we'd love to see you on our app called NatureHub. It's NatureHub, one word, and you can find that on the Google Play Store or on the Apple Store, and it's only available for phones right now, so it wouldn't be available for a tablet. We're working on that, also trying to get a web version up as soon as we can. But we've got a forum section there, and you could go ahead and you know, tell us what you think about what you do. Are you like a loofah person? Do you use the loofahs in the shower instead of you know, a plastic scrubby thing? Do you I don't know. I'll just let you fill in the blank there. Great talking to you. I'll see you next time.